Some people are already heading to the polls. Our Rhonda Atala is live in the studio to tell us more. Rhonda.
Thank you, Brian. Early voting is easy. You could do it at the polls or just pop your ballot in the mail. The goal is to get people to vote before Election Day. According to the United States Election Board at George Mason University, 14 million people have already casted their ballots nationwide. Traditionally, early voting ballots are leaning towards the Democrats. Iowa is one of those states, also a swing state, and according to the Iowa Secretary of State's office, almost 500,000 early votes were casted as of Friday. Registered Democrats were 45.4% of those ballots, compared to the 31.9% for Republicans. In Colorado, on the other hand, Republicans have a small edge in early voting. According to the Secretary of State's office, there are 39% of votes are registered from Republicans, while Democrats represent 36% of the early votes. And ELN students are part of the early voting trend, and not just because they're early students, or not just because they're out-of-state students.
Voting for Romney early, and I think it's really important that he gets a lot of young voters to vote for him, is that was a huge trend for Barack Obama in 2008. A lot of young voters mostly voted for Barack Obama, and I think that if Romney really wants to pull away with this thing, he needs to get a lot of young voters to vote for him.
I voted early because I live in Maryland, so I had to do an absentee ballot. And it was really important to me to just hurry up and get my vote out there so that I could ensure that my vote was being heard. I didn't want it to be late or anywhere close to the deadline. So I want to make sure that I was as effective and proactive as I was.
Let's jump back to the 2008 election. President Obama was the first Democrat to win the Tar Heel state in 32 years by 14,000 votes. Early voting in North Carolina started Thursday and has already surpassed the number of votes from 2008. According to the NC State Director of Elections, more than 8,000 votes were cast in the first day in 2008 at 5 sites across Wake County. And this year, 3 more early voting sites were open, receiving a little more than 11,000 votes on Thursday. That is a 42% increase. As of 5 p.m. Thursday, an average of 2,100 people voted each day in Alamance County since the one-stop, no-excuse early voting policy began October 18th. We will follow these numbers and bring them back to you during the week. For now, I'm Rhonda Atala, ELN Local News.